We live? How's it going, family? I appreciate everybody that's here. We got a lot we got to get to, so we're going to jump right into it. Lunch and news with DotSale. Yeah. It's crazy right now. Like, we got so much going on. It's like, I didn't even know what to cover today. Like, realistically, it was just so much. So, we're actually going to cover a live event just because it's completely at a point where we got into this culture where it's like, we can't even remember what happened just last week because there's so much new content that's hitting us in every direction. Like, one tragedy is just overshadowed by another. It's like the tragedies are fighting with each other to try to be the one to have more tragedy than the other tragedy. It's like we got these school shootings, they're happening, and they're just on top of each other. Then we got all these people being taken out, and then they're fighting with each other to the point where you'll have two horrific things happen at once, and the mainstream media has to really just decide which one they want to lead with and which one they want to focus on. Totally putting the other one behind us to the point where we're at a point where, like, some of the stuff that happens, we can't even cover it at all because it's like, what are you going to do? And I just think that at this point, it really puts us at an impasse. Like, where are we going to go from here? We're going to have our warm-hearted closer. We're absolutely going to have our warm-hearted closer because that is very important. It's always important that we end off on a good note. I am going to feed y'all. Family, do not worry about that. We have a really good meal on the menu for lunch. I'm always going to make sure y'all are fed and taken care of. And while we eat, we're going to get to this news. So we got two main topics that we're going to cover today. We are going to go ahead and tune in and see what's going on with Kash Patel. We're going to see what's going on. The FBI director.
FBI, open up!
Yeah, he's being grilled by his constituents. And it's weird when we watch these because it's like, it kind of just really shows the climate that we're in, where even the people at the top that got to occupy space together can't even get along for more than a few minutes. And I don't even think it's that long. Also, Minneapolis, I mean, I'm in Minnesota, is a complete mess right now. And I'm just wondering if things are going to continue to get worse before they get better. Do we have to have a full, what do you call it? Do we have to have a full reset of what we have going on? Like, as far as all of this crime and stuff, like, do we have to have a full reset of everything? Does everything have to collapse so we can build back up? I don't know. We're going to get to all that, and we're going to get to it soon. But first, we got to eat, y'all. We have got to eat. And what do we got on the menu today? What do we got today? Well, we are going to have, let's get to it right here. We'll get some visuals of it. We are going to have shrimp tacos with mango salsa. Shrimp tacos with mango salsa. And you can go different options with this. You can, say grilled shrimp, or you can fry it up. You can bake it. Do you bake shrimp? I'm not even sure. I'm not a big fish guy personally, but we got to switch it up and put some different things on the menu. So you can kind of look at some of these pictures and kind of get an idea of what lunch is going to be like. We're going to cook this up shortly, and we're gonna get it out so we can have everybody eat. But there is gonna be fresh mango salsa. It's a mix of diced mango, red onion. You could throw jalapenos in there if you are somebody that likes spice. I like spice, so I'm definitely gonna go with the jalapenos, but take them out if it doesn't work with you. Cilantro and lime juice. I know somebody that's smiling right. Tira, are you smiling right now? Tira's smiling right now. She's saying, did you say lime juice? It's an inside joke. And we got tortillas, of course, because we're dealing with tacos. And then additions, and for me, absolute must-have is avocados, guacamole. I need it. I absolutely have to have it, so that's something I want to add to it. But you can see it right here. Now, we are going to say that for the people that are plant-based, or if you want to go that route, then we do have alternatives here. I'll just show it to you real quick. Quite expensive, it looks like, possibly. And I was looking at some of the actual comments on it, and some people were saying like it was somewhat of a ripoff as far as what you're getting. But this is just one option. I think there's a few more, but we'll just highlight this one and kind of see how it looks here. And does it look like shrimp? For all the people that are kind of understanding what shrimp looks like. I don't really like shrimp personally. I might substitute it. I might just go I might not go no meat, no protein, nothing like that with mine. But you can see some of the, and we can never be perfect, right? You know, some people say, you go vegetarian, you're plant-based, you're going to be perfectly healthy. That's not really true. You can be plant-based and be very unhealthy. Trust me. That's absolutely a thing. So, you know, you always got to find a balance. You can't be radical on either side for the most part, but that's basically what's in it right there. You see the ingredients. Now, I want to highlight this YouTuber right here, okay? So this YouTuber is going to help us understand how to make this and cook it up for us. So I am going to highlight his channel. It is called Empty Pantry Entrees. Empty Pantry Entrees. And at this YouTuber, content creator, food content creator, has 1.05K subscribers. So let's try to get Empty Pantry's Entrees some more subscribers. So go over to his channel, Empty Pantry Entrees, and see if we can get him some more subs for his work. Let's get right to it.
Also brings together just the right amount of savory, sweet, and spicy. Hi there, y'all. I'm Tom, and this is Empty Pantry Entrees, a place where you can come to learn all the skills you need to make delicious creations from only the odds and ends in your pantry. And today, we're making one of my favorite summertime meals, shrimp tacos. But not only that, we're going to be topping things off with a deliciously sweet and spicy mango salsa, along with a cilantro lime crema. Now, if that doesn't sound good to you,
got little extras going on.
I don't know what else to say other than get out. Don't want you here on the channel. You are overstaying your welcome. Get out.
All right, we're gonna get straight to it because he's doing a lot of extra stuff. We just want to get to the food. Empty Pantry Entrees. That's what it's gonna look like. That's gonna be the completed version. All right, let's get to it.
You'll first collect a quarter of a large red onion and break it down into a fine mince. With that done, you'll scoop up and place into a mixing bowl in which you'll be assembling your salsa. Next up is the jalapeno, which is spun, destemmed, cut longitudinally into halves, de-seeded with a baby spoon, and then again chopped into a fine mince. The key here is to break everything down into as small of pieces as possible. For the mango, you're gonna cut is to break.
So if you look right here, we actually watched
into as small.
And I'm gonna show you. Look at his finger right there next to the knife. Now we were watching another chef. What was it? Was it this week? I think it was on Monday. I think it was the Monday show. We were watching a chef, and he actually showed us how to properly cut with a knife. And if you look at his pointer finger with the left hand right there, having that finger out like that is quite dangerous and could possibly have you lose the tip of your finger. I mean, usually you have a feel for what's going on, but one mistake, maybe you get distracted for a second and that finger's gone. So the actual method is to kind of put your finger into a knuckle, kind of like you're making a fist, and have that straight line down. Never have that finger laid out flat at all when you're doing these type of slices. And, for me, I'm always trying to give solutions. I don't just want to complain. So I'm not necessarily attacking him and his technique, just saying that that's something that he might be able to clean up. And we learned that just recently, right? So there's always time to get better. Let's see how he does, though.
Small of pieces as possible. For the mango, you're going to cut along the side of the pit and try your best not to hit any of the woody center. And I might be revealing my inner Gen Z here, but I did learn this next trick on TikTok. Take your mango halves, slice off the tip to create a flat, exposed edge, then bring out a regular old glass. Now, you're going to use the circular edge of the glass to act as a wedge between the skin and the flesh of the mango. It should make this a nice and easy separation. Dump that out and give it a turn over and dice again into small bits. Now before we go ahead and add the lime juice to our mango salsa, we're going to collect way more zest than we realistically need for our crema. But hey, doesn't hurt to have extra. Once adequately de-skinned, slice in half, then squeeze thoroughly, making sure to catch any seeds that try to jump into your salsa. No surprise chunky bits today. To dress this boyo up, we're hitting it with half a tablespoon of olive oil, half a teaspoon or so of black pepper, approximately an 8-ounce container of sour cream with a pinch of lime zest from earlier. Along with that, you're gonna add in
I wonder if that's his own little special thing with the honey. I see what you doing, empty pantry entrees. I see you got your little secret going on right there with the honey. Okay. See how that works out. Might bring everything together. Or maybe that's actually necessary. And if you think about it, yeah, that would make sense though, because that would glue everything together in a way. Honey's very sticky, so then everything's kind of not separating itself. I like it.
In a teaspoon of
little
honey,
sweetness.
That's the sweet portion of the sweet lime crema. Finally, a smaller yet significant portion of minced cilantro.
Got cilantro.
Before letting it sit in the fridge.
Gonna throw black pepper in there.
Now, since I live in landlocked Ohio and fresh shrimp is essentially a fairy tale here, I'm fully comfortable using the frozen stuff. Just dump.
Yeah, you got to go to Maine to get your shrimp, right? Is it Maine? Maine got some type of a fish out there. I don't know if it's exactly shrimp. I think it is shrimp, right? Over in Maine. So you get the freshest shrimp at?
It into a colander and rinse when I'm in the seafood section. The only thing that I skip is the pre-cooked shrimp. After they finish their teaspoon of chili powder,
skip that.
half a
You got
teaspoon
chili
of
powder.
olive oil, rub it around to pre-grease your cooking surface.
Pre-grease?
Then completely optional, but if you want to flex on your chopstick skills, this is prime time for it. These shrimp cook incredibly quick.
Who knows how to use chopsticks? We got any? Is there anybody that uses chopsticks anytime they have an Asian dish? Specifically, I always try to use chopsticks when I'm having any type of Asian dish. I don't go with the fork. I try to use chopsticks.
Quickly, just 3 to 4 minute moment. Perfectly colored and slightly
toasted. I like it.
Also, a key piece that I accidentally left
Gotta toast the tortillas.
Half of a red bell pepper.
You almost forgot the bell pepper?
The profile and make it
you cannot forget the pepper.
More visually appealing, but also to give a bit of a texture. And lastly, add in a
all right, we putting it together. We about to eat, y'all.
Crema. And now look at this, y'all. I'm telling you, these tacos are freaking incredible. Super savory, sweet, satisfying.
That looks good. That looks good. I must admit, he did a great job. Go ahead and subscribe to Empty Pantry Entrees, and you can tell him DotSale sent you. Let's move on. And as you are, we can go off. We can take black and white off. We don't need it no more. We can take black and white off. As y'all are eating, we're going to get to this news. I was actually going to content, but I think what we'll do is, I believe Kash is he still alive? I don't know if he's still, let me see if he's still, I think he's still alive. So we'll jump right into that because he's actually getting grilled right now as we speak. So we're going to jump into this live because we're always able to kind of figure out what's going on in real time. This is not pre-recorded.
Names that were in Jeffrey Epstein's.
Is Donald Trump on
Let's see what's going on.
The index has been released, and the index will speak for
So I'm
itself.
just gonna say,
Yeah, this is
America
literally
is a
happening
huge
right now.
flag.
Let's see a little bit of what's going on.
Could not answer
Gentlemen,
whether Donald Trump was on Epstein's
gentleman's time
client
has
list.
expired.
Talking about
Recognize
Epstein?
The gentleman from Virginia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the director for being here and for his work over the last several months, removing the taint of partisanship that has infected the intelligence community over the past several years under the last administration, under the last several directors, standing up for law enforcement, standing up for the brave men and women who work in your agency.
What do y'all think about the job the FBI Director Kash Patel is doing right now?
Record, early days of the first Trump administration saw a dramatic spike in news stories that contained sensitive and sometimes classified details about the FBI's bogus Russia probe, about a leak a day. It's unacceptable that senior FBI officials coordinated to leak classified information to try and harm President Trump. Documents produced to the committee in August of this year revealed that the FBI interviewed a former intelligence committee staffer who gave details on a systematic process through which leaks of classified information were affected by then Chairman, now Senator Adam Schiff. Were these findings escalated within the Bureau's chain of command, and if so, to what level?
Sorry, were the findings escalated?
Were these findings that were given
that was
to
confusing
us
to me.
escalated within the Bureau's chain of command, and if so, what level? Did you receive this information?
That entire matter is currently under investigation by the people at the FBI that handle leaks of classified information.
All right, it's good to know that there is an ongoing investigation. Can you tell me whether these leaks to the media compromised any ongoing FBI investigations during the Trump-Russia probe?
I can tell you, generally speaking, the leaks of classified information are detrimental to any work the FBI is doing.
Now, former Director James Comey testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee that he had never been an anonymous source, nor authorized anyone to be an anonymous source in news reports about matters relating to the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation. Was Comey's testimony true?
In reference to Director Comey, I'm very limited in what I can say because of what the current status of those matters are with the FBI and the Department of Justice. When I am able to make those public, I will.
Can you tell me if there's an ongoing investigation there?
Again, without identifying any individuals related to the information you're generally speaking about, there is an ongoing matter that has been under review by the Department and the FBI for some time.
Because we know that the documents that we received last month revealed that former Director Comey used Columbia University law professor as a conduit to leak stories to the media that contained classified information. Let me move on to the way that the FISA process was weaponized by past directors. Prior to your confirmation, you raised concerns about government misuse of FISA, including Section 702, stating that FISA was in need of major reform. Specifically, you highlighted that the Fisk report that the FBI had conducted 278,000 improper.
What do you mean?
Judge, my physical and mental, my physical as well as my mental fitness.
I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I keep up with a lot of stuff, but the way this guy is presenting his questions is very weird. And what's up with bro on the left side of him? Like, I feel like he's been so angry his whole life that he has a permanent frown. Like, he tried to smile. Like, hold on, watch it. He tried to smile and it didn't work. Watch him right here. We got him right here. We got him live. Like, he's gonna try to smile and it doesn't work. Watch.
That the Fisk report that the FBI had conducted 278.
See that? He tried right there. It didn't work. Bro, what is going on, bro?
Got a little attitude there. Is that it?
Look at bro in the back with the glasses behind him. He has a permanent, his face is like this. It's automatically like this dude ain't smile. His lips ain't even like going this way. They're going this way. Like, how is that even natural, bro? And bro on the left side, all of these people, I'm convinced that being a politician turned you into something that you never wanted to be for some reason. Now, I understand they have a very taxing job and they're constantly getting scrutinized, like what's happening in this situation. But bruh, like, there has to be some joyful times within your life, and you just gotta sit here. It's so boring. Let's see. Let's go back to it and see if this guy's done talking. See if we can get something else, a different topic.
8,000 improper data of Americans from data brokers.
He's still talking.
I don't believe so, but I'll get back to you.
Thank you. That'd be important. I appreciate that. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from Washington's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patel, before you joined
we
the
got
FBI,
someone new.
You had very strong opinions about what the FBI was hiding regarding Jeffrey Epstein. In a September 2023 interview with Glenn Beck, you said the black book is under the, quote, direct control of the director of the FBI. In December 2023, you said, let us know who the pedophiles are. Even for a short time after becoming FBI director, in February of 2025, you tweeted, quote, there will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, no stone left unturned. In June, you told Joe Rogan, quote, we've reviewed all the information, we're gonna give you every single thing we have and can. But then suddenly in July, everything changed. You and Attorney General Pam Bondi released one video and said that there was nothing more to see. Your July memo says you uncovered more than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence, but that you had decided no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted. That is a quote. I think what happened, Mr. Patel, is that suddenly you discovered that Donald Trump's name was all over these files, and you started a giant cover-up. So you are under oath, Mr. Patel. You just
that is a huge accusation.
That you did not speak to the president about the Epstein files. To your knowledge, did Attorney General Pam Bondi speak to the president about what was in the Epstein files?
I can't speak for Attorney General Pam Bondi.
So to your knowledge, you don't have any information. The question was, do you have any knowledge? Do you have any knowledge?
I can't.
Let me just see how it's like to be a politician. Let me get bro right here off with the red, white, and dark blue tie. Let me just be like him. How's he doing this? Hold on real quick. Everybody's angry in there. I gotta fix my hair. I need to part it down the middle, and we'll figure that out later. Hold on. Is he doing the right? That's the right hand, so he's got it like this. I mean, he's just angry. Everybody in there is so angry, bro. Let me get it. All right, let me see if I can do this the whole time he's speaking like him.
Can't speak.
You are refusing to answer the question, so let me tell you that the Wall Street Journal reported that in May, Bondi told Trump that he was in the Epstein files, and at the same meeting said that the DOJ did not plan to release the files. Yesterday, you testified to Senator Kennedy that there was, quote, no credible information that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone else, and that you have, quote, continuously and publicly asked the public to come forward with more information, and we'll look into it. Today, in
he ain't
response
opened
to
his
Mr.
mouth or
Massey's
nothing.
Question,
you know he
you
need a
appear
breath
to
mint.
say that the survivors were not credible. These are survivors.
That's not at all what I said.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask you this in a second, but let me tell you about the
don't lie about
survivors,
me.
and let's bring them up here into the room. These are women who came to the Hill and testified that they were groomed and raped at the age of 14 and 16 years old, and they called to meet with the president and to meet with the FBI and to have people investigate their claims. Some of them have never testified before. If you are so interested in getting the public to submit any information, why have you not met with them? You said you haven't met with them. Have you met with them? I'll give you one more chance.
My job as the FBI director is to
Is the
invite all
answer yes or
investigative
no
leads.
to whether or not you met with these women who were sexually abused and raped?
What?
Any insinuation by you or any
What
people
is
on your
the-
side that I am not manhunting child predators and sex traffickers, just look at the
Mr.
stats.
Patel,
And you talk
Mr.
about
Chairman,
cover-ups, man.
Mr. Chairman,
you
this
talk
is
about
my time,
cover-ups.
and I will take as much time as I
Where were
want.
you during the
Instruct
Obama
the
and
witness,
Biden
Mr.
administrations
Chairman.
when these so-called
Instruct the
cover-ups were
witness.
going on?
Mr.
Why didn't
Chairman.
anyone in those administrations talk to any of these
Mr.
purported
Chairman.
witnesses?
Let's
I
get
have
some regular
welcomed
order, Mr.
every
Chairman.
single person to provide credible information.
Time belongs to the gentlelady from Washington.
And I'm
but
gonna
when you-
take
When
another
you
couple
accuse
of
the
minutes.
witness of something, he's allowed to respond. That's how it works. You say
Listen,
something,
he didn't even,
say
excuse me,
Mr.
Mr.
Chairman,
Chairman, you have
respond.
always been fair, but
I'm-
this
and
is
I'm
not
being
fair.
fair, and you will get
No,
your-
this
you will
is
get your
my
time.
time, and he
We will give the
said
gentlelady
that the
a few
witnesses
additional
were not credible.
seconds of time.
She about
I'm
to
gonna
have an
get
emotional
additional
breakdown.
minute of time, because
No,
that's
you'll
how
get
much
what,
time
you
he
won't get a
took.
minute, you'll get some seconds. What we think is under 5 minutes. You don't get to demand how
Mr.
much time you
Patel.
get. That's not how it works.
Mr. Patel, are the victims
This is good
the
though. This is
Jeffrey
good.
Epstein horrific
Entertainment-wise,
trafficking
terrible
rape,
in every other
are
way.
they credible?
Any person with information about ongoing sexual trafficking.
I'm asking you if they're credible.
Ma'am, I'm
Are they
commenting on the
credible?
evidence we have. And we have routinely asked for people to come forward with more evidence, and we will look at it. And the evidence that we have was the same evidence that the Biden and Obama Justice Departments had. And they determined, not me, they determined that information was not credible.
Chairman, he's not letting me even ask my questions.
You ask the questions, he gives an answer. You may not like what he says, but that doesn't mean you get to interrupt
He's not answering
him.
my question.
Mr. Chairman, could we restore the gentlelady 45 seconds so she can
We will give her
complete her question?
additional 30 seconds, which is what I said
I'm
earlier.
going to keep taking my time because
you'll take
here's
the time
thing.
that you get. You
You
get
are
30
not
seconds.
answering the question.
Y'all wasting
The
time doing
question
this.
You just don't like the answer.
Are these women credible? It's a yes or no answer.
I have answered the question.
Well,
and
what
I
is
keep
the
telling
answer?
you, I'm the only FBI director that has welcomed new information in this
Okay.
case. This
You're not-
administration is the only one that has welcomed any new information in this
Is there
case.
a yes or no to whether
Present
the
new credible
victims are
information. Present new
Are
information.
the victims credible
The victims-
or not?
I'll tell you what happened in the last Trump
Are they
administration.
credible or not? You can't even
Victims
say.
credibly came forward, and you know what happened? President Trump authorized the indictments of
President
Jeffrey
Trump
Epstein,
called
not
them a
Biden,
hoax.
not Obama,
President Trump
no one else.
called the entire thing a Democratic hoax. So I would like to ask
The
you,
gentlelady's
if
time has
you
expired.
will
I gave her the
meet-
additional
if
45
you-
seconds she
if you
requested.
will
The
meet-
gentlelady yields back. The gentleman from
Mr.
New
Chairman,
Jersey is
I would like
recognized
to
for his
ask if
5
you would
minutes.
meet with the women who were sexually
Time does not belong.
abused and raped and groomed
Time does
at
not
the
belong
ages
to the
of
gentlelady from
14
Washington.
and
The time now
16
belongs-
years old. Are
The
you
time-
going to cover up?
No, I'm
Are
not
you
gonna-
going to
I'm
continue
gonna
to
recognize
cover
the
up
gentleman
for
from
the
New
rich
Jersey for
and
his 5 minutes.
powerful men, including those that might be on this committee?
I can yell
Or
too,
are
Mr.
you
Chairman.
going
I don't want to
to
yell
allow
above
them
this.
to
The time belongs
testify?
to the gentleman from New Jersey. I
Are you
appreciate
going
the
to allow
gentlelady
them to
yielding
testify,
back.
Mr. Patel?
Go ahead.
Will you allow them to testify to you, Mr. Patel?
Mr. Patel, thank you for being here. I know it's been an interesting and difficult 2 days. And I wasn't going to talk about the Epstein thing because there's a lot of other issues that affect the FBI, but I
Just because I don't care doesn't mean I don't understand.
Bro, what the hell is going on, bro? Like, what are we watching? What is... Why she sound like your grandma that, like, why are the emotions so high when you get less accomplished when you're screaming and yelling? You can get your point across at an even tone. Raising your voice doesn't make your argument any more significant. It really, if anything, makes your argument seem weaker. Because if you're elaborate enough, or your vocabulary is strong enough, you can get in the human language. In English, there's pretty much a word that describes everything. So you can pretty much get what you need to get across without yelling like a raging lunatic, not to mention you have a mic right in front of your mouth. So I'm actually more concerned, though, with everybody else that's in the room. I don't see one person in there that looks like they've ever had a smile on their face. And it's weird because, like, my face doesn't even work like that. I don't even think I can frown. Like, it's kind of like, bro got a permanent frown over there. And I don't know. I want to look at some old Kash Patel pictures and see if, like, since he's been FBI director, if his face has slightly started to change into a frown. I think it happened with pretty much everybody that's been in politics. We're going to move on from this, though, because he's going to continue to get grilled and lambasted for probably the next at least 4 or 5 hours. So if y'all want to go over there and watch that after our show, of course, then you can go do that. But we got to go ahead and get over to the crime that is in Minneapolis, that is in the Twin Cities of America, because it is completely insane. Yeah, Lola. Yeah, unhinged is the word. That was the word I was looking for. Unhinged is the word. Like, I don't know what is going on with these politicians in these meetings, but I'm actually, like, I don't think it's an environment I'd want to be a part of personally. But we have to move on because we got to get to these next stories, and then we got to get to our positivity at the end. So I want to give a little bit of time to that, but we might even cover some more of the Kash Patel stuff tomorrow. Probably not, because there'll probably be something insane that happens overnight tonight that we're going to have to cover. But, you know, as for now, let's get back into our regular news. We just had to do a quick jump in and see what's happening. That's happening right now as we speak. As we're chilling right here. Well, actually, we're about to be looking at crime ourselves. So I don't know. It all goes with the opening monologue, though. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Because if this is happening at the top, what do you expect to happen at the bottom? Well, we're seeing it right now. The people at the top are fighting, seeming like they want to commit violence against one another. I wouldn't be surprised if whoever that woman was talking to Kash Patel, if she had the opportunity, would literally take him out. Like, honestly. And then the FBI director will have the FBI trying to figure out what happened to the director.
FBI, open up!
Let's get to the next one, though. Twin Cities. Beloved Twin Cities. I'm in the Twin Cities. It's quite disturbing to me what's going on within the illustrious state of Minnesota. Let's get right into the first story. We'll go through about 5 of these, actually. And I could have got a lot more, but this is just most recent. And it's kind of surprising how much stuff has happened within just like the last week.
Hundreds across the Twin Cities metro. Minneapolis police say they have made their first arrest in connection with the city's car break-in spree. More than 100 break-ins were reported overnight throughout Minneapolis and its suburbs. This marks roughly 580 reported break-ins since July 15th. Frankie McClister has more on what happens next.
On Tuesday, when the sun came up near 41st and Vincent,
you can't really drive when they're just breaking the windows of your cars.
It's cleanup time for both Will Ackerman and his grandma across the street.
This is a lot of cars, a lot of damage.
Minneapolis police say over 100 cars were broken into overnight Monday into Tuesday across town in several suburbs. That brings the total to more than 580 since July 15th, when MPD says the spree began.
Stopping this problem has been one of our highest priorities.
Police Chief Brian O'Hara announced progress on that priority on Tuesday.
We have recovered 2 stolen vehicles earlier today that we believed are involved in some of the damage. And we have 3 juveniles that are now in custody.
Minneapolis police say they're still looking for others involved in the hundreds of break-ins. The problem is expanding. Bloomington was hit in July with 40 cars smashed in the Great Wolf Lodge parking lot. Police in Edina arrested 6 people in connection with similar crimes earlier. But
the Great Wolf Lodge parking lot is a very prominent hotel resort type of situation. It's right by the Mall of America, the biggest mall in America. And it actually has like these huge water slides that come out of the building and go back into the building into a huge pool. And when you're going past the airport on the highway, you can see it. It's kind of somewhat of a staple now because it's very noticeable and it looks very fun when you look at it. So a lot of families go there and they enjoy the aquatics that are in there. And so those where that was a place where criminals decided to target to break into vehicles, and they probably got a haul. All right, let's see.
But catching the prowlers is only part of the solution. Prosecuting presents another problem.
In order to have a case against someone just for one particular vehicle, we have to be able to prove that a specific person damaged that specific vehicle.
Making investigations into each and every report, like Bertie Ackerman's, extremely labor intensive.
It happens everywhere, but I didn't think it was going to happen here.
And Chief O'Hara says that they believe separate juvenile groups are causing the spree. He asks you, listen to this, to call.
People never think that something's gonna happen to them. I was talking to a friend, and she lived out in the suburbs, and she just like leaves her garage wide open, and she leaves her doors unlocked. And I was like, do you think that's safe? And I was like, why don't you lock your doors? And when I told her that, ain't nothing gonna happen out here. There's nothing going on. I said, you do understand that criminals have vehicles, usually stolen, and you're making yourself an open target, because a lot of crime is based off of opportunity. So if you leave yourself looking like a big, fat, juicy steak with no one to guard it, and somebody's hungry, they're gonna go ahead and take that steak. So it was weird because, like, I just didn't understand how it is that people can be so just oblivious to what's going on around them as far as how other people are moving. And this lady just encapsulated all of that in a single line. She just said it right here.
Pensive.
It happens everywhere, but I didn't think it was going to happen here.
Everything she just said in one sentence contradicted it happens everywhere, but I didn't think it was going to happen here. The last time I checked, without looking at the dictionary, the definition of everywhere means everywhere. I don't even so aren't you included in everywhere, or are you just in your own bubble where you don't understand that crime could happen to you? Now you're looking at your window broke and all of your belongings taken, and usually you leave stuff there that's visible, and that's why they break the window. So a word of advice: if you are parking anywhere at any point, do not leave things that are visible for people to steal. I mean, if they break into your car and there's nothing there visible and they still steal out of it, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm telling you have like a 95% less likely chance to get broken into if you don't have anything that the criminals can clearly see through your windows, unless you have a Kia or a Hyundai that they can just break the back window and use a USB to start your vehicle after they break the ignition column off. Then you're going to get targeted no matter what, because you have a pathetic Honda and a pathetic Kia. Let's move on to the next story.
This morning, a person is under arrest after a stabbing on a Metro bus. Metro Transit Police tell us it happened around 9:30 last night on Nicollet Mall. This is right near the Hyatt Regency and the Millennium Minneapolis hotels. Officers say the stabbing victim had non-life-threatening injuries. Police arrested a suspect on second-degree assault charges.
We are continuing to learn more about a deadly crash in Bloomington. Police say that...
So that was the quick part about somebody got stabbed on a bus. On the buses, actually, they have very good cameras now. Like, they got a camera that sees the whole bus, and they even have a monitor that shows that you're on camera. And somebody still decided to stab somebody, and that was the end of it. So it's like the criminals don't even care if they get caught at this point, and I really don't think that they believe that if they do get caught that there's going to be any serious consequences to what they do. So you're not even safe on the bus taking public transit from a knife-wielding criminal that might try to take you out permanently. And I would actually, I would say that you should always have something to protect yourself anytime you're out in the public, for the most part. Next story.
After people who live and work in South Minneapolis said enough is enough.
I've seen carjackings. We've had shootings on Lake Street.
Earlier this evening, city crews began putting up what looks like fencing to block an area near the transit station at Lake Street and 35W. The barricade comes in response to a shooting this afternoon that hurt 5 men. Our Jason Rantala has the latest.
Minneapolis police say one man may not survive after a mass shooting that left 5 hurt Monday morning. It happened just after 11 near the 35W and Lake Street transit station. This video shows first responders loading a man onto a stretcher after police say dozens of gunshots were fired. Police say details are limited, with a number of conflicting stories as to what exactly happened. But one thing is clear: it's an area that's seen large groups gathering for months now.
This particular ramp and this immediate area has been notable for crime and violence.
Just a month ago, the chief says a woman was shot on the nearby Midtown Greenway. A few days later, 2 men were shot in the same area as this latest shooting.
We believe this situation is just contributing to the overall...
Were shot in the same...
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Y'all got camera footage of this area, and you're watching everything that's going on within it, and you didn't do anything to prevent the violence that was going to incur. Absolutely 100%. You could see it developing over time. And this area that they're in, especially where this guy right here is communicating, if you want to look right here, if you've never been to Minneapolis, right there, You'll see it says East Lake Street. That's right off of the highway of 35W. Now, when you get off of this highway right here, just behind the camera, there is a huge homeless encampment that is over there. And there is a lot of bad things happening over there, just as far as like drugs and criminality. And I'm actually wondering, and one of my big questions is, how are people that are homeless affording guns? Because guns are not cheap. I mean, there are some cheap guns, but on average, a gun's going to cost you, like, if you want to get like a Glock 19, it's going to cost you like around $700, give or take. And then you got to get ammunition for it, assuming that you're not using range ammo. When you want to get some defender ammo, maybe like a hollow point or something like that, you know, a small box that costs you maybe like $40-$50. So it's like you can't afford rent that could possibly be like $500 to $600 a month for a small place. And, you know, it can go anywhere up to like $1,500 just, you know, base rent for something that's very, very, you know, affordable. How is it that you can pay for a gun? Like for real? So it's quite insane. And you're seeing this, and Brian O'Hara, that has succeeded Arredondo for maybe like the last 2 years. Arredondo was the chief over there, is definitely working overtime. So we had to deal with this. And then shortly thereafter, let's see if we got anything else on this. Let's look a little bit at what else is going on as far as
resources to help MPD here in South Minneapolis.
Yeah, they had to bring out the state trooper. This is the state trooper right here. The state trooper had to pull up because they ain't even have enough officers to deal with it. He should be on the highways with a radar gun doing this, waiting for somebody to go 2 miles over the speed limit so he could pull them over. Although I think that if you're not going more than 10 over the speed limit, they should probably just leave you alone unless you're being aggressive driving. If you hit somebody in the fast lane going 10 miles over and you give them a speeding ticket and they're not a threat to public safety, I just think that is an unnecessary ticket, like 100%. Now, having to pull the state troopers out here just shows that the police are definitely at a deficit, and you often see them getting a lot of overtime, so they are getting a bag. But it's not a good sign to see the state trooper having to deal with city issues. That's not good. We're just getting warmed up. We are just getting warmed up. We're going to get into the craziest part of all this. Mass shooting at a homeless encampment leaves 8 people injured. 8. That's a lot of shots. Like we talked about a Glock set. We might have to start getting into these guys. They had high-powered rifles, AR-15s, AK-47s, Uzis, Tech-9s. Like, because if you just got a 6-shooter, I mean, you can't hit 8 people. So it's like they got all kind of weapons over there. They ain't just running around with a little 25 caliber, little small ankle pistol. Now, these guys got intense. They don't got running water, but they got ammunition, guns, scopes, laser point sights, sniper rifles. It's completely insane. And I don't see it getting any better. This just happened. This absolutely just happened. Let's get into it.
Following a developing story this morning as police remain on the scene of a mass shooting at a homeless encampment in Minneapolis.
Police say 8 people are hurt at this point, 4 of them with life-threatening injuries, and the city says it will clear out that encampment as soon as possible. Saquon joins us live there from the scene with the very latest. Good morning, Say.
Hey, good morning to you. Yeah, we're at this homeless encampment right now, and this is how active it is, even hours after that shooting. I'll step out of the way so you can see for yourself. This whole area by the encampment here.
Y'all got the encampment literally being monitored 24/7. Y'all just watching like from afar. Like y'all will set up those little posts. I think they got one right there off in the corner. You can see it by that police police cruiser. It's a camera that they just set up that can just watch everything. They can kind of just move at its own wheels. I got it right here. It's right here. That's it. That thing right there is a camera. So they just been watching this for months, staying out of it, not wanting to get involved, and maybe for good reason. However, they seen this developing. You said they shut down the encampment? TK214 said they shut down the encampment. When did they shut down the encampment? Because this just happened. This story is from 1 day ago. It's from 1 day ago. The comments saying, don't blame the encampment, blame the shooter. We ain't even gonna get into the comments right now. Okay, so they're saying they shut down the encampment within 24 hours. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. This is crazy though. This is absolutely insane.
Here is blocked off by police. You can see, of course, police officers still on scene this morning. The forensic team right now is collecting evidence, and once they're done with that, the city's going to send in some crews to shut down this area for good. Keep in mind, this has been another busy day for Minneapolis police, with this shooting happening just 12 hours after another shooting just blocks away where 5 other people were hurt.
You know, it's been a lot of violence lately.
We just had the chief over in the daytime on the other side of town dealing with this, and now he got to run over here at dinner time. And yo, can somebody send the chief? Do we got some extra tacos? Do we got some extra shrimp tacos with mango salsa? If you got an extra taco and you don't want to have it, can we wrap it up in 10? I'm gonna bring it over to the chief. He ain't that far from me. I can get to the chief in like 15 minutes. I'm gonna bring him he needs to eat. Let's take care of the chief and get him. Let's get Brian a couple of tacos. We'll bring him some guac on the side and some chips, cause he's working overtime and he needs help. This is crazy.
And we just want our community to know that we are not going to give up, and that we will continue to fight so that every person in this city can be safe.
The shooting at this encampment happened just after 10 o'clock last night near 28th and East Lake Street in the Longfellow neighborhood. It's unclear at this point what led up to the gunfire, but police say they believe it was a shootout between at least 2 people. Police say 5 men and 3 women were shot. 3 of the men and 1 woman have life-threatening injuries. The other 4 victims are expected to survive. We also know some tents started on fire after the shooting, and firefighters were also called in to put out these flames. The mayor says this particular encampment has been the site of many issues over the years and will be cleared out.
We have tried to clear this encampment on multiple occasions. We were met with resistance by the property owner. It made it very difficult, both from a practical as well as a legal perspective. And so ultimately, we moved forward with a public health nuisance order. And that is the litigation that is moving forward now. And
this encampment is on land owned by a man named Hamoudi Sabri, who, as the mayor mentioned there, has refused to shut it down for months, leading to a lawsuit from the city. So far, no arrests have been made. We are still working.
Hamoudi said, you know what? I got the money to fight y'all, and I got the time. So it is what it is. And honestly, like, y'all, I'm pretty sure Hamoudi has property taxes. So it's like, he don't even own the land. Y'all don't even let us really own land in America anyways. Now, there are places in the world that when you buy the land, you actually do own it. And out in Dubai, that's one of the places where they actually give you the land. There's no property taxes on any land that you buy in Dubai. It's kind of cool. And, I guess maybe the whole UAE, but I know about Dubai specifically because we were out there last month. Okay, so my thing is this, though. You said they just shut it down today? Yeah. But my thing is this, right? Like, should it have been shut down long ago? Like, do we have to? Some things can be prevented. Some things are obvious to the point where we can get ahead of it, right? We can. one of my main sayings is prevention is key. So when you have an opportunity to prevent things like this from happening in the first place, because it's like now you shut it down, but also the problem is that they're just gonna move like slightly farther away from where they're at because they still have no other place to go. They're not gonna go into a home because they're homeless. So I mean, technically they got it. And what the hell's going on with how do you burn a tent down? Wouldn't it just melt? Like I don't even do tents like go up in flames or do they just melt? Like usually they're made out of the stuff that the tarp that you put over your car. This is completely insane. One woman shot 3 men. And men, we us as men, we've been fighting for millennia. Like that's what men do. But when the women are starting to get involved and they want to start pulling guns and get involved in war, like the women were supposed to sit it out and tend to the children and all that. But now they're out here waving guns around, shooting back at people. This is completely insane. There's no order at all. Let's check one more video out.
Chief blaming the shootout on an apparent dispute over drugs. The city wasting with 2 victims found in tents, gravely wounded. They were shot in the head. The police chief blaming the shootout on an apparent dispute over drugs. The city wasting no time, immediately shutting down the site.
These encampments regularly end with tragedy, with shootings, with fires, and preventable deaths.
Shot in the head over drugs?
That is why we tried to close this encampment on several occasions. It's horrific, it is tragic, but it is...
This is what I want to understand, Frey. I was calling him Fry at first. You remember that episode where Homer... They was like, Bart was like, yeah, Mrs. Crabapple. And Homer was like, I've been calling her Crab Apple. It's super funny.
Don't.
Anyways, I don't know. I like cartoons. That's why I don't have a permanent frown like all the people that are in Washington. It's happening to Frey too. Frey's starting to get cooked. He looked like a very bright and uplifting guy, and now he's just dealing with tragedy. Look at his face. He can't hide it anymore. This is just terrible. But if you can shut it down now, why couldn't you have shut it down before? The community's been asking, at least parts of the community. I don't know about all of them. Obviously, the person that owns the property was advocating for him to be there. And I don't understand why, unless he's far away from the property, because you could have caught a stray, bro. Like, it's kind of crazy. But, yeah, man, this is insane. Let's see if we get a little more visual of this before we move on.
A lot of the tents and makeshift structures that were allowed to take shape on private property just off East Lake Street over the last couple months.
Okay, I got you, TK. So right now it looks like because this might be, yeah, this is a little more recent. So they are taking down the encampment, and it looks like they're bringing in the trucks, throwing away all the trash, and trying to clean up the area, and so they can just scurry on to another place of the city.
Officials said they are headed to court to obtain a temporary restraining order against the defiant property owner.
Is that him?
People from returning. He has been issued thousands of dollars in fines for creating a, quote, public health nuisance.
Encampments are not safe. I'll say it again. Encampments are not safe. They're not. They deserve better.
We can't go in and get our stuff from our own home, and now I'm being arrested because I want my stuff.
The city's immediate closure of the encampment.
Now I'm being arrested.
Better.
We can't go in and get our stuff from our own home, and now I'm being arrested because I want my stuff.
The city's immediate.
You were told to leave. When you get evicted, which is basically what happened, you got evicted. You wasn't paying to be there. So, I mean, technically, how do you get evicted and you ain't even have rent, bro? Bro, how do you get evicted and you didn't have rent, fam? I just...
Judge my physical and mental, my physical as well as my mental fitness.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
I don't get it, bro. I don't get it, man. This is crazy, bro. Hey, look, family. That's him? Oh, we got to hear from him. All right, we was about to move on, but we got to hear. This is the guy right here that is defiant against all law enforcement orders and citations and everything, and he's the one that is enabling them to have a homeless camp on his property.
Welcomed.
My reaction? My reaction was bad because we have a bad mayor who's actually a psychopath. He's a sick person, and he's a conniver. And he's not a truthful person, and that's really why we're going through all this mess.
What about the person or persons who actually pulled the trigger?
Well, that's what I'm not really familiar with everything that's going on right now, but that's where the police should be focusing. Instead of focusing on disabling the people stuff and taking them, cleaning them. I haven't seen anything. I've been here. I'm focusing mainly on the victims who's actually injured inside this hospital.
Do you have any regrets in setting up that encampment?
Absolutely not. No, I would never have a regret for something like that. Why would I have a regret?
And this is a complicated...
You've got to be kidding me.
What the hell is going on? Let me put him back on screen. This is just getting deeper and deeper. I don't know what is going on. Now, if you ever drive through places like Minneapolis, then you'll see signs where there are people that support Frey. Like you will see signs in people's yards where they say Frey for another term. And you got this guy right here that's saying he really dislikes or possibly even hates or has vitriolic tendencies towards Frey. So he's willing to basically keep this camp open on his property just to spite Mayor Jacob Frey. And at this point, I'm just like, what do y'all think? Court of public opinion is now open. I want to hear all sides. Because we're hearing from him, we're hearing from Frey, we're hearing from the police chief, we're hearing from the woman that says she's not able to get her stuff out of her encampment, so she's fighting with law enforcement, kicking the door. She got to go to jail and spend a little time in there. It's all just complete madness, you know, and there's going to be more to this as we continue to cover these stories. Wow. Just wow. And it's crazy because I'm like less than 15 minutes away from all this chaos, although I'm not really involved in it whatsoever. And it just shows how it's like, if you ever go to a state like California, it's very weird how you can be like in Beverly Hills at one point and then literally like 5 minutes later, probably less than that, you're in like one of the most dangerous places in the world. Burglar bars everywhere, crime everywhere. Then you just go like a couple streets down. It could be even like one street over and it's paradise. We're just in like some alternate like universe type situation, and I have no idea what's going on. But we got to end this on a positive note because we're never gonna end on this type of negativity ever. We're gonna have a good rest of our day. Hopefully, you have some leftovers. You can kind of snack a little bit on the rest of your lunch as far as the shrimp tacos with mango salsa. Let's get into our positivity right now so we can close out. Army dad surprised his daughter at school. Let's get into it.
New at 9, a big surprise for a Coweta first grader. Her dad surprised her with his return from a 9-month Army deployment.
I love this. Fox 23 was there as everyone got ready for the big moment.
Anxious, nervous, ready to see her.
That's Army Mechanic Staff Sergeant Austin Bonstetter ready to surprise his daughter Ava after a 9-month deployment to the Middle East. Ava's first grade class at Northwest Elementary in Coweta doesn't know who's about to walk in the door. They just know a local celebrity is joining them for story time. The moment she sees him, Ava runs to hug her dad.
Baby.
That is a great feeling. That is a great feeling. I like it. I like it. I like it. This is a very heartfelt moment right here, and I think we should all just take some time to just let this image soak into us. Like honestly, like just let this image just soak in where you're seeing a person that, you know, is actively putting his life on the line in a foreign territory where it could be very hostile and dangerous. And now he's back on his home soil and has an opportunity to reunite with his daughter that has probably grown significantly, because at that age, kids grow rapidly fast, right? And when he left, his daughter could have been possibly an inch, 2 inches shorter than she was. Her hair could have been here, and now you see her hair is down here. And she might not have known how to count to 50 when he left, and now she can count to 50. There's so many things that change that we miss out on when we're out working in different areas of the country, and to come back and get this embrace is completely incredible.
Hey, man. This is too sad.
They then have a little bit of show and tell.
Daddy has been in the Middle East.
This was our local celebrity, so he's been overseas fighting for all of us so that we can be free.
He was all the way on the other side of the world.
The family, including mom Martina and little sister Aria, then settled in for an Army-themed story time.
When they aren't sleeping on base, Army soldiers sleep in tents.
We asked Ava what she felt when she saw her dad for the first.
See, it ain't nothing wrong with sleeping in a tent. They just said the Army soldiers do it. When they aren't on base, they're sleeping in tents. But for some reason, they're not out shooting each other in the head, and they're supposed to all be basically like, you could look at it like an outdoor apartment building. I mean, if I'm in an apartment, I'm probably not going over to my neighbor and fighting over pointless things and then attempting to shoot him through the head. Now, we see this right here, we can all get along. They sleep in tents, perfectly fine. No fatalities, no arguing. Everybody works together, helps one another out, and cares about one another. And this is a great picture, actually, of the family. Probably should have been the one I used over here underneath me as a graphic. I like this picture right here. I like it. I like it. This feels good. This feels good.
The first time in months.
I felt very happy. I thought it was going to be someone I didn't know. I didn't think it was going to be my dad.
Staff Sergeant Bonstetter had this message to share with families in similar situations.
Hold in there. I mean, you'll be home sooner than you think.
Martina says what they're most looking forward to now is the little things.
Just doing everyday tasks, just life. Because that's the hardest part, is just not being able to do everything together. So just anything. And probably Taco Bueno, because he hasn't had it in 10 months.
Before the family headed out, Staff Sergeant Bonstetter got one more warm welcome from Ava's classmates.
Welcome home!
And shout to Staff Sergeant Bonstetter. I actually have an older brother that served in the military. He did his time. He was all over the world, Afghanistan, North Korea. Was it North or South? The one that is less like closed off. I'm pretty sure it's South. And, you know, so he left when he was probably in like his early 20s, and I didn't get to see him very often. And even now, he doesn't live anywhere near me. So we communicate through the phone here and there, but, you know, just kind of understanding what it is and the type of sacrifice that you have to give when you are working for the U.S. government, or I guess the Army, or the Marines, or the Air Force, you know, any type of that branch, National Guard. I just want to say salute to everybody that, you know, is putting their life on the line to protect America. And although, you know, some might argue what it is that we're fighting for, I think the bottom line of it, when you just look at it from a baseline of just the individual humans, it's definitely a worthy cause and a very necessary one. And, you know, I'm all in support of people like the sergeant, and I hope that he gets the opportunity to spend some time with his family and really enjoy it. And I think his wife said she's making tacos for him, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what she said? Let's just check that last part one more time. I think that's what she said. So she's on the right path, because, you know, we had today.
Anything. And probably Taco Bueno, because he hasn't had it in 10 months.
Taco Bueno, I don't know what that is. If anybody knows, let me know. But it won't be now, because I got to go. I got to go. I gotta go. Miss y'all. Y'all are family. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I am DotSale. This is gonna conclude the show. Until tomorrow, you know how it goes. Yeah. I don't even know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm telling you, like, this was like all compiled like an hour ago. Because you never know what's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna watch more of the Kash Patel situation and watch him continue to get annihilated and fight back. I don't know who's right, I don't know who's wrong. But this needs to change. This absolutely needs to change. I guess we'll see. Because one thing that ain't gonna stop is time. Have a good day, y'all.